In this problem, we are finding the limit of r of x as x goes to 6, where r of x is this rational function here, x squared minus 4x minus 12, all divided by x squared plus x minus 42. So in doing this, I'm going to do it the way I showed on the last question, where I just create an equivalent function. Now, maybe I should start out by saying this. If you were to have plugged in 6 into r of x, what you would end up with is 6 squared minus 4 times 6 minus 12 divided by 6 squared plus 6 minus 42. And if you type that in on your calculator, what you get in the numerator of that fraction is a 0, and in the denominator of that fraction, you also get 0. So we have this indeterminate form of 0 over 0. And so the technique that we're going to utilize in order to find the limit of this r of x is we're going to factor both the numerator and denominator. So if I factor the numerator, actually, let me create a new line. If I factor the numerator factors into x minus 6 multiplied times x plus 2. The denominator factors into x minus 6 times x plus 7. Now, in terms of what we're going to do next, I want to remind you that we're not creating the same function. We're creating a slightly different function. Namely, we're going to cross out the x minus 6 over x minus 6 because we know that functions which are equal in every spot except for one point are going to have equivalent limits even at that point when they're not equal. So I would end up with x plus 2 divided by x plus 7. And notice that we still have limit as x goes to 6. At this point, we can say, well, this is a nice rational function where we don't get 0 in the denominator when I plug in the number 6. So what I can do is I can simply plug in the number 6 on the top, plug in the number 6 on the bottom, and get a fraction of 8 over 13 as my final answer. So this problem has limit as x goes to 6 of this r of x is 8 over 13. So again, we're using the fact, this step here, that while these expressions aren't exactly the same, they are exactly the same except for the point of when x is equal to 6.